Early exchange, shaping policy, advancing development.
Let's look at the role of language when it comes to promoting tourism. And precisely, we'll be looking at the role of Pidgin English, which is like local language here. Our research has shown that over millions of people in Nigeria, in Cameroon, across Africa use this language. We'll call it our own Niger language, but it's Pidgin, generally known as that, and it's traced to the conversation that first existed between the British leaders and African slaves. We have a guest who is joining us virtually to shed more light on this. We're being joined by sorry about that. We're being joined by Ogini Bernard, who is a Pidgin playwright, translator, and a researcher. He's also the director, Catholic Museum of Nigeria. Ogini, glad you have joined us on Early Extend this morning.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here, and thank you for the intro.
All right, good to see you. I was expecting we go yarn for Pidgin small. It's time for Pidgin. All right, it's allowed. It's Early Exchange, so it's Friday. We can make it that way. But let's start the conversation this way. Okay. We're looking at the angle of tourism. I would like you to give us a perspective in Nigeria as regards the use of Pidgin language in attracting the right value when it comes to tourism. As a country, have we been able to do that in your own assessment, and what are the opportunities for tourism potentials when it comes to the use of Pidgin in Nigeria and across Africa? Talk to us.
All right. Thank you very much. And good morning. Now, first and foremost, what I want to talk about tourism. I say tourism now social and cultural plus economic phenomenon where we say one person they move from one place to another. The reason why the person they move, not be say he won't just go play, but he won't learn, he won't gain, he won't see, and he won't know more about this thing. And over the years, over 10 years, you see say government never too put body for things like this, especially language, because Nigerian Pidgin don't suffer, no be small. No be today Nigerian Pidgin they suffer. Way back since 70s, 80s. The language, people look at and say the language of illiterate. The language will be say they know people will be say not go school, local people will come from rural areas, people will not get life, will they go astray. Now in them build the language for. But as time they go, the language can they develop and people can they use them as language for communication. One adage talk say no condition is permanent, and if I bring that adage from this thing why they talk, so you go to say no condition is permanent, because if you check the portfolio of Pidgin right now, you go to say Pidgin don't dey for so many areas of our lives. Pidgin don't dey for business, Pidgin don't dey for news, Pidgin don't dey for even politics, Pidgin don't dey for even studies. So the thing where the tourist aspect of this matter, I say, like I said before, government never to put body, but now we like the language, we get the passion, we will know about the language, and we will speak the language as lingua franca for our state. Now go fit carry this thing as tourism. Now go fit build them as tourism, and it don't happen because for this game, I don't do for this matter over 10 years now. And within that 10 years, things don't happen. For example, for 2019, for University of Ibadan, African Studies, Institute of African Studies Department, we host the symposium of Nigerian Pidgin, whereby all scholars from all over the world, where they work on Pidgin, come together. Now, then come together to come see how the language they work and how the language don't develop right from the 70s, even from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000, where we did now. And when they come, themselves see as the team matter be. Themselves go streets, then go places, then interact with people, then move around and everything. Then see say the language not be Shere Kambia. They say the language no be child's play. They say the language no be we want to. Now, a serious language, and the language don't pass all the requirements where language supposed to be. Yes, it don't pass all the requirements when it supposed to be. And make government make them our lingua franca, our national language, because what no be small. So over the years, tourism people don't they come to come learn, to come see how the language they work, to come see, okay, say the language fit get all these pronoun, adjective, adverb, first person singular, past tense, present tense. And it happened for 2019, that same 2019, Professor Bernard from Paris enter Nigeria with him people, come study the language. Niger Syncom project. If you go online, you can see the project there. It already did there. They can't study the language. They can't see how the language, and in come with an expert, in come with people. So, and if we fit, if the government put on for this thing, we make them the national language, it will attract more people. It will attract more tourists to come see how the language they work, to come see how the language they grow, to come see how far we don't use the language and what will be the prospect of the language. Okay, make I come off on that one. Make I go my
Ogini,
own
we
personal
go
working.
look how the language don't take the impact tourism. You don't talk some other parts of say some people when they hear Nigerians, they speak Pidgin, they wonder, say, which kind of language be this? So they too won't join us, they speak am. They could just take flight. So because of that one, take flights, come Nigeria, come see the way people they use the language, they do daily life, and they enjoy the language like that. But when we listen to this special report where they on Pidgin, we go come back and talk how Pidgin take connect with tourism.
All right, thank you.
As we enter Pidgin, you know what make we do on that level, but we will still reach out at all because even when we don't speak English, we some people they call for there. We will come down because Pidgin English now our own local one. But I go ask my producer if you don't already make him knock that Pidgin report.
Omorigi, that is why the patient dog is always lame. Remember, we don't have the Oba yet. We only have the Crown Prince. And when I become the chief Ogame of Benin Kingdom, I will have the right to perform the mock battle. And if I like, I perform am. And if I like, I still delay am. Iholule Levin. Yes, Iholule Levin. I, Richard Arisco Sewenge, I will sit down for the throne, control the 18 tribes of Benin Kingdom. I tell you, nobody, we need our respect. I know fit bow under the authority of the Oba. I know fit. I tell you, I go rule this Benin.
Ogini, you don't say we'll play trick on you now. Say when we talk in that special report we won't play, you expect we won't do one documentary. But now waiting you don't hear before. Now we'll bring that. So we say you sabi the language very well and they use it until they communicate different things. But when we come out from those things where you talk now, enter tourism matter. As we talk before we play that report, say many people they listen to Nigerian Pidgin. Even safe foreign stations like BBC come get full department or full channel for just Pidgin. They call them BBC Pidgin. They get different type like that. Or now to carry message wey don dey English. When people they call Oyibo, it be like say too high for people to understand. So as we carry am now enter tourism, wetin dey help do? How they take move this tourism industry go near permanent sites? You understand what I dey talk, sha?
Okay, it dey help move this story. The language dey help move tourism for our country because say people need to know the language. People need to understand. People need to know why other people why there is BBC Pidgin in the first place. Do you understand? That one alone, BBC Pidgin alone, don't create that impression. Don't create that message. Don't create that message. Say there's this language where we need to understand. And as I talked about before, say Pidgin not be only for Nigeria. It did for all over West Africa. Talk about the Cameroonian Pidgin, Ghanaian Pidgin, Sierra Leone Creole. So long and short of it, to summarize all the whole points, now say this tourism issue. Now we need to put all our hands on deck. We need to work together. Not only one person feed one, and only me no feed one. Only two people no feed one. Now all of us even join with the government, because we, for my own part, I don't contribute my own part. Other people say don't contribute their own part. But being they mention names now, people don't contribute it for the pidgin language industry. I would always mention they go, I not go stop. But we still need more hands. We still need government. We still need external bodies, to still put more effort to grow the language and to make the language the national language for Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, Ogini, we'll talk about how people they see this language now. I'm going to mix it because of our international audience, so that they won't lose out outrightly. Now, let's address the issue of perception about Pidgin, whereby people perceive it as a local language rather than something that should be international. What do you think government feed do to correct this kind of narrative where people they see this language? What do you think government feed do?
First and foremost, make government just declare and make them just pass the bill. Make government just declare and say it's a national language. So with that one, people might go come down. Because me personally, I get that I don't already go through that process. Maybe say personally, I know for my house, a pidgin vernacular for school, the same thing. And if you go other states, you will see say pidgin itself don't even take over some local languages. Pidgin don't even take over some areas for some states. Take for example now my own state now, Edo State. If you look at those states where you will see say pidgin itself they more than the local language. Even as in fact say pidgin itself don't they drive from local language for more itself. They don't they drive and enter extinction. And all these things now record we suppose gather. We suppose part of the requirements with this, so that make the language not drive other local language for more. Make we kind of put for national language, so that would they disturb other languages. So we not say okay, pidgin stand for one corner, local language stand for one corner. But if that it go they disturb other local languages, and that one no go to make sense. So the thing where government fit just do now, say make they just pass the bill to the house. Say okay, make we first read down, first read the second reading, third reading, or how they want it one. Let them get it straight that okay, this language, we've looked all the portfolios, we've looked at what this language has done, we've looked that this language is relevant in business, in politics, in everything. If you want to do campaign in politics, now they'll use pidgin. If you want even do advertisement, you want to advertise your product, they will still use the language. So what are we now saying? Which we can they talk? What we can they argue for? So the only way where this language will change perception, the only way we change cloth. People say they make them nakam agbada, we say starch, make the language very fine. Like if the government we can't chook more because we don't do our own part. For example, now the pidgin dictionary now is now available. The dictionary is now available, and for October, they will launch the pidgin conference, whereby all papers be presented in pidgin. So what are we waiting for? So that's now my own stand on this matter. Thank you.
Okay, so we agree say the pidgin dictionary don't come out, but we know say as not be only Nigeria they speak pidgin. If you go Ghana they speak pidgin. If you go some other West African countries they speak pidgin. Even for Nigeria, pidgin not be the same for everywhere. Pidgin when they speak for Lagos, if you go place like Warri, the pidgin different. If you go place like Benin too, the pidgin different. If you go place like Port Harcourt, the pidgin different. And sometimes when they go speak this pidgin, you self when they fall you they hear and you understand and you they speak pidgin, you feel confused for some kind of word they go use. So it means say this pidgin English, it no get standard. They never standardize them. So how we go take do say pidgin, make we get something like central pidgin. If you go Warri, then speak the pidgin. It sounds like the same thing when if you come Lagos, now the same thing they speak, you understand. You go Port Harcourt, you go Ghana, for instance, because as the pidgin they different, it they be like waiting they come out from the communication. people know if it understand themselves. And even when we carry and come enter tourism, the tourism professionals themselves, should them sabi speak this pidgin? Because it be like say those way be pidgin tourists. Now until they enter the city, enter the town, they get this pidgin feel. Even their tour guides them, some no sabi speak pidgin. How we go take arrange all these things?
All right, thank you very much for that question. I'll wait for that question since. First and foremost, we get different types of pidgin, just as you don't talk about already. We get central pidgin, just the normal basic pidgin. Then that pidgin will be central, and the pidgin where they speak right from the 70s and the 80s, where our forefathers they speak the normal pidgin without any form of local language. So as time they go, the thing they change. As time they go, the thing they change. Now, waiting day for pidgin now, and why pidgin day different now, because of say local language don't take like 10% out of the language. For example, now if you come with Ibadan here now, as you don't talk for Lagos now, the way they speak their pidgin different. If you go Warri, they different. If you go Benin, it's still different. But you know, say Benin and Warri, they're the same before they divide into two. So our own not today different like that. Just the intonation and just they very slightly different. If you go Port Harcourt, so these things now say the language don't they change, don't they change, things don't they happen. And the standardization, fine, it did very difficult. How to standardize them, how to make sure say okay, these spellings they rhyme, and that's what we don't work on for years. We never finish the project actually. We never finish them at all. We still work on the project to make sure say we get a standardized spelling, a good orthography. Maybe say this now waiting, this now how you supposed to be. So that dictionary will come outside now. Just like like foundation of how make it be. So as time they go, everything go dey soft, everything go dey make sense, everything go dey understand, because we no fit do everything once, because the language you get as it be, not be as any other language we did, because it dey change at sometimes. In fact, the language itself they expire at sometimes, because when you speak like a pidgin of 70s, you speak them now, people they look you say, which kind pidgin they speak? You know, what is going on? Okay, you understand? So it has to be updated. So the thing is, research work still they go on. The research work is still going on, and we cannot say, okay, this is how it's supposed to be spelled, or this is standardization of pidgin. But one thing that is certain is that different areas, like different states where they speak pidgin, they're different because of their local language. Because the local language now has entered the pidgin. It has mixed with the pidgin. That is why it's kind of different. Then, concerning the tourist, taking it to the tourist side, yes, they would at first they will find it very difficult to speak pidgin, because it's not that easy. Because I don't see when we won't learn. Maybe say when they start, they somehow. But as time goes on, and a language, if you want really sabi language, you must mix with those people they speak them. You must interact with those people they speak them. If you make mistake, they will correct you. If you do any error, any grammatical error, they will correct you. So you can't sit down in your house and learn pidgin. You can't sit that for those that are outside the country. You have to read about the language, read how it works, read how they watch videos, and still travel to that place and see how they speak and interact and practice. So by so doing, give yourself 3 months, 2-3 months at least. You go on to talk the basic and simple things for pidgin. Thank you.
All right, Ogini, as you don't talk waiting government supposed to now, more bien waiting papa, mama supposed to for this matter today out. You know, let's talk about what parents should do, the role of parents and teacher. Now, for this matter, for the thing to go the level where e suppose go. What do you think mama and papa fit do for this matter, for parents, even teacher wey dey school, where they say, this thing na vernacular, make student no speak am. Wetin you know say they fit do to make the thing better as a day now? Let's talk about the role of parents and also the role of teachers in this development.
Okay, the role of parents, first and foremost, I would say there's a major problem, and this is the problem. The problem is that most parents and most teachers, they don't want their child to speak vernacular. I'm trying to get the problem now. They don't want their child to speak vernacular. Now, when you are teaching a child, the best way the child can understand, the best way a child can understand is through that vernacular. So how can you, and vernacular, your local language is self-explanatory. No matter, there is no grammar in your local language. There is no grammar in your local language because it is self-explanatory. It is, they don't break them down into pieces where they say, where pikin, if pikin, they try to chop food, they go up and match them down so that you go fit understand to the last thing. Now, if you say a child should not speak vernacular, and to teach a child, that child needs vernacular to learn and to know what you are saying, then there is a problem. Like there's problem don't they? So I think the role of parents and teachers is that make we try as much as possible to promote our local language best as we can. Make we try as much as possible because a student go grab the thing faster, better for a local language than for in own for the grammar because so many things are hidden in grammar. Then they hide so many things for inside grammar. If I enter one place now, begin the blow grammar now, people will say, this guy don't show, this guy is sabi. But when you look at the things why they talk, because you say the things why they talk, you not even pass one, say, you not even pass one, but don't already blow the grammar go. So I think the parents and the children and the teacher, they must encourage local language teaching. For example, now, I have started something like what I call Pidgin literature. Now, telling stories in Pidgin, whereby you can really understand to the last, whereby the illiterates too can understand. Not be only you, they make story for. Not be only those who go through, they make story for. Okay, if you talk story now for BB grammar, now I want to make the others take a line to your story. How you want make them take understand. So I feel that the parents and teachers have a major role to play. And the role is let them encourage local language. Let them teach their children local language. Let them encourage them, make them speak them, and make them use them for studies. Imagine say you use Yoruba to teach mathematics. Imagine say you use Yoruba to teach English. Imagine say you use Pidgin to teach mathematics. Pidgin to teach biology. Pidgin to teach a government. So okay, what be government? Government now that the people will go for the people, all those kind of things. Imagine you are using local languages and Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, not only Pidgin this time around, all local language to teach. The child will learn faster, and the child will the child will know faster, even more than the teacher. So I feel they have a major role to play in this. Thank you very much.
Okay, talking about roles to play now, let's look at what can be done to encourage those who want to visit Nigeria or visit African countries where Pidgin is spoken. How do we create some learning centers? Some persons who want to go to France, for instance, because it's a French-speaking country, so they feel like if they get there, there's a better chance when they interact more with native speakers of French. So they just want the experience. And if they can speak the language, if they can speak French, they get a better experience of the city because they can communicate with the locals than when they cannot speak French. So how do we create these learning centers for tourists who like the language but can't speak it, to at least give them the orientation and the basics of how to communicate in Pidgin?
All right, thank you very much. First and foremost, we don't already map out learning curriculum for the language for Pidgin English. We don't already map out everything, and everything will launch everything on the day of the conference, which happen for October 2nd. That's in 2 months' time, October 2nd. That's where the conference will happen. We did launch the curriculum. We did launch because we don't already prepare all the how they fit learn them right from the basics, and it will be online, and the courses don't already did. Now, apart from that, we don't already create curriculum too for university, for university level, and all these things. So we will start them by October. We will start them by October. So, if anybody they interested, my social media handles is open, and they fit DM me and ask me for more information. But the thing is, there is a way that you can learn online, and there is a way that you can also, if you are done online, if you want to come over to also learn, to also interact, to also know, learn what you have, to also practice what you have, what you don't learn, then it's possible. Is very, very possible. So we have designed all this. We don't design everything. Where tourists or anybody we don't understand the language, or anybody we want learn the language. We don't design all the curriculum right from the beginners to intermediate to the experts. We don't design that side. We don't also design for university advanced program too. Everything has been done, and this project was championed by Professor Francis Egbokare, University of Ibadan Linguistics Department. Now, they championed the project, and everything will launch for October 2nd for the day of the conference. So, anybody who want to come to the conference, they open to anybody. If one does come to the conference, come watch, come see as they present papers, academic papers. As scholars, they present academic papers for Pidgin, as they dissect, as they match the topic into pieces, so that we go fit to understand. If one come because of that one, it is possible. If you come, may you come see for yourself. Not be say then say we be say. May you come see as the team, as the matter be, how the first of its kind, how you go present paper for Niger Pidgin. May you see as you go take understand the paper. So all that has been sorted out. Thank you very much.
All right, we acknowledge what you're doing as an individual and the rest which others are doing, but let's look at the role of Ministry of Tourism in this. For Niger, now the ministry was supposed to do the work with that when it comes to the issue of tourism and the use of Pidgin language. Now, what obligation are you expecting from this ministry? You just talked about your individual efforts. But as regards collective effort from this ministry in particular, as regards relating to Pidgin in promoting tourism, waiting this kind of ministry if we do to help tourism, get to the best level and make it better.
All right. Within the Ministry of Tourism, if we do, it gets so many things with the do. But first and foremost, make them create a program especially for that language, for Pidgin. Make them also encourage performances for Pidgin. Make them also encourage things where we fit do for Pidgin. For example, now, if I want to do one play now, I should be able to take. I probably have written the play in Pidgin. I should be able to take that piece to the ministry and say, okay, dear sir or dear ma, I don't bring this matter out, and I would like make students, probably secondary school students, or make student people for street or anyhow. How will we promote this thing? How will we take? So the ministry must also enter the system. Make them enter the system. If possible, say maybe they speak the Pidgin for their ministry. Say make it happen. Make it be like that. So let them also enter the system. Let's make them not there outside the system. Make themselves join for the promotion. Make them make them compulsory. Make them create another program for RAM. make them also create competition, you know, tell stories in Pidgin, competition, prize giving competition. So, and things can happen, as in ideas can come up. So let them also be in the system, not only outside the system. Let them also contribute by supporting, by supporting in all aspects of anything that has to do with Pidgin. So that in that way, the Ministry of Tourism can, and when that is done, it will attract more people. It will attract outsiders. It will attract foreigners to come and say, okay, since the Ministry of Tourism is on this, what are these people up to? Let's travel and go and see what they want to do. So by so doing, don't they gather people to they enter the country because of language? By that time, it could be saying not the only Pidgin itself could they involved. Other languages too could they involved. Yoruba said could they involved. Hausa could they involved. So many languages could they involved. Language where you think where you don't even go to, because now from one they enter one. Now from clap they enter dance. So once that is done, then it would bring more people into the country. And at the end of the day, you might see that Institute of Pidgin Studies would just stay for one corner, championed by the Ministry of Tourism or championed by the federal government. So I think
my question to you now, Natsu, what would be say, as the ministry champion Pidgin for Nigeria, if you say they will get some internal resistance, like say some Nigerians no go too like them, say they do one for schools, because some parents, when they don't spend big money sending their children go school, the first thing where they check whether that pikin they learn or that school good. Now the kind of English when they come out from the mouth of that pikin, what they call Queen's English. If you don't speak Queen's English, they calculate maths, you sabi well. If you look and say, be like to that school, they try, more carry good one, be say, when they speak like this, they wonder whether they born you for UK or Nigeria, they born you. That one I want. Another thing be saying, as we bring people come, use Pidgin attract them. Wait till we go take sustain them, so that not be only Pidgin we carry them come, go keep them. Other things where the tourism sector need, as they come, Pidgin carry them come, they will see waiting go make them won't come back another time, or even tell others say, you need to go Nigeria for this your holiday where you do, what do they call vacation?
Okay, thank you very much. First and foremost, I will first address that first question question where you first asked me. I'll say most parents don't they like make their children they watch the school first, and if you not speak English, like that one not possible. Fine. This problem don't they right from very long time ago, right from when we don't take independence. This problem don't they. So not be today, it don't they. And now, when parents and teachers start encouraging things like that, then you are killing the culture. You are killing the language. You are killing so many things. When things don't do like that, you are killing so many things because it will be a disaster. It would be so unfortunate that a child cannot speak his or her local language. And a time will come, that child will need that in past money. That child will need that language past anything for this life. Because if it happens for job, that child will they want to speak Queen's English. Fit see one application. We talk about job, and the first or second requirement, now your local language, maybe the child na Igbo. The first requirement, you must be fluent in Igbo. You must be fluent in Yoruba. You must be fluent in Hausa. Now, when that child see him, that child that child go hate himself. That child go hate himself because he go look say, so waiting this Queen's English don't make me achieve. Now, waiting this Queen's English don't because this life is very broad. And we must also understand that the only way we can survive is knowing our culture. And you can know this, you can know this language and keep this local language and keep it and start blowing your English. but you need to know it, and that is why that is why it will be a disaster. So this problem has been on, and it has not been on like today. It has been on for a very long time, and it depends on the child. It depends on the parents, and once the child has seen that, okay, I don't understand my local language, then the child starts blaming either the parents or the people around. Yes, and also talking about bringing tourists into the country, and how can this thing be? How can the whole idea, how can it be sustained? It can be sustained through so many things. For example, it can be sustained through art. Now, there was in 2021, I was able to deliver a lecture in Germany, and the title of that lecture is "How do you name your art in your local language?" Now, the Germans are finding it very difficult to like, they want to know how to name your artwork in your own local language, because when when an artwork is done, you name it in English. Why would you name your artwork in English? What happens to your local language that you cannot name your artwork in your local language? And that gives the artwork more meaning. So I had to say about my own part that most times I am also a visual artist. I use thread and periwinkle seashells to draw, and virtually all my works, when I'm drawing, I draw in Pidgin. Like, I think in Pidgin and I draw in Pidgin and I name my works in Pidgin. No matter how no matter how I don't do the work, I must still give them that Pidgin vibe. I must still give them that Pidgin orientation. I must still give them that Pidgin name, because that is how I can pass my message more. So there's so many things that can sustain when you bring art into it. When you bring what I just said now, naming your works in your local language into it, they will come. People would come. People would want to know more. That how can this be done? How do you think in this direction? How do you think in this aspect? How do you want it? I need to learn the language first, and I need to learn art so that I can
But
match it
already
together.
we're running out of time. But that you just said is brilliant, using art to sustain tourism sector. Even though we can use Pidgin to attract tourists, we can also use art and other means to sustain those who come in and make them more curious, increase their curiosity, and want them to know more about the Nigerian culture and by extension the African culture. Thank you, Ogini Bernard, for being on the show today.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here, and thank you.
All right, from what has been said, one thing to take away is that our culture is our own, so we cannot pay less attention to it. It is what we can sell. It is a resource, and if we treat it that way, it means we can get the right benefits from it. I'm Blessing H, and so far this week has been great. We can do this again Monday, 8 a.m. West African time. And you can watch this edition of Early Exchange as well as others when you visit our YouTube channel at Soup News TV. Leave a comment and like our content. Share with your friends and family. You want them to know what policies are being shaped here in Early Exchange. Yes. So on Facebook, Instagram, and X, the handle is at Soup News TV. I'll see you Monday. Bye.
All right, it's a wrap on our production for the week. Don't forget that next day returns on Monday. But the conversation continues on our social media platforms, all our social media platforms, Facebook, X, on YouTube at Soup News TV. Don't forget, we'll always get bigger and better. Thanks for watching. Market Insight comes up at 11. And as you leave us, enjoy your weekend and have fun. See you on Monday.
Early exchange, shaping policy, advancing development.